Last month, the Dalai Lama gave an interview. And I'm not sure if any of you guys saw... You're nodding. I'm not sure if any of you guys saw this. It was amazing. It's a British woman, and she's got notes on a clipboard, and she's asking really softball questions to the Dalai Lama. She's like, Mr. Lama, what's your favorite kind of forgiveness, Mr. Lama? And like... And then she asks a question that's supposed to be like a real feel-good question. She goes, Mr. Lama, do you ever think there's going to be a female Dalai Lama? And he went, yes. And I can see me like, ah. And then he continues, and he goes, but only if she's attractive. But she checks her notes, and she's really checking, but eventually she's like, nope, didn't have the Dalai Lama being sexist in here anywhere. And she was like, would you like to elaborate? And he's like, yes, well, today, people only listen to attractive people. So the next Dalai Lama will have to be attractive. And whether or not the Dalai Lama is right, I'm not going to be the one to make that call. But whether or not the Dalai Lama is right, I have one thought that I have been thinking since I saw the interview. Does the Dalai Lama think he's hot?
Alex Edelman is on the Adam Carolla Show.
Just for Us, name of the special. It'll come out this Saturday, April 6th on HBO, and it's really, I'll use the word impressive. Funny. Well shot, by the way. Looks beautiful.
Alex Timbers, man, great director.
But impressive. And you know that I feel like the Dalai Lama, the thing that bumps me on him is his frames. I think he needs contacts. When I see a guy wearing glasses, I don't think like touched by God. I think like stigmatism or something.
Do you think the Dalai Lama with LASIK would be a more impressive Dalai Lama?
LASIK with Dalai Lama. He always has kind of weird metal frames. And he's bald, so it really attracts my attention. Soft contacts is all I'm saying, just for appearances. Like when you go back to the castle or teepee or lean-to or kibbutz or wherever he lives, you can put the glasses on, like a lot of people do. But when you go out and do a presser, I would do the contacts if I was the Dalai Lama.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And he would improve his look. That's all I'm saying.
We don't want to see him flawed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want impressive. You want impressive when it comes to when you're the spiritual liaison for 1 billion people. That's probably...
Yeah, you want whatever happened to me with my eyes had to get in the readers when I was in my 40s. That shouldn't happen to the Dalai Lama.
I love the Dalai Lama. I think he's so... I've seen him bomb. I've seen him lose audiences. Like, he just says what he says and just goes, and he just does it. He's like
Dana White.
Is that, oh, really?
The Dalai Lama? They both will say anything.
Yeah, I think they get
both
compared
have
a lot.
money.
Yeah, they both compare. They get compared.
I know
a lot,
it's kind of fucked out, but I should bring it up. Yeah, they're really the same.
They both can really drop an elbow if they're called on. They don't do it. They don't do it much as part of their job, but occasionally, if they have to separate 200-300-pound guys going at each other,
that elbow. Yeah, all right. So, contacts, get rid of the frames.
Yeah.
And that's all I got to say.
Well, speaking of Dana White, so not only does he get confused with the Dalai Lama, but he also gets confused for Joe Rogan.
Oh, yeah.
So he went on Sage Steele's new podcast. Mm-hmm. And she sits down and just totally thinks he's Joe Rogan, and Dana realizes it mid-interview.
Way.
Here it is.
What's Joe Rogan's dream?
What's Joe Rogan's dream?
Oh,
Joe Rogan,
no.
Dana White. What's Dana White's dream?
Oh.
Did you just think I was Joe Rogan?
I totally did.
You just called me fucking Joe Rogan. You thought I was fucking Joe Rogan?
Yeah, I thought you were Joe
I was
Rogan.
bald before Joe was ever bald. Okay?
I know.
Just did a 2-hour fucking podcast. I flew here from Vegas, and she thought she was interviewing Joe Rogan.
Jesus.
Wait, this is at the end of the podcast?
He flew from Vegas too. Yeah, I don't know.
No, he said I just did a 2-hour podcast.
And there's
Didn't
another
he say
clip.
he was never doing podcasts again?
He
like,
did.
a couple
Well,
weeks ago?
that was on Howie Mandel's
Okay.
thing. I don't know. Like, so that makes me suspicious. Like, is Dana White just trying to make every podcast go viral with a clip? But then,
I have some insights,
Okay.
just from experience. Well, first things first. It is so refreshing to see a black person confuse white people for a change. It rarely happens, but this is nice. So that's a change of pace.
yes,
I've done her podcast. I've done Howie's podcast.
Okay.
They're in the same building. They're in the same warehouse. You just go in and turn left to go to Howie's, and go in and turn right
Who is
to go to
Sage Steele?
Sage's.
Forgive me for not knowing.
Oh, God.
She's a sports reporter, ESPN. Gotten to Dutch with ESPN because she was talking about not wanting to get vaccinated, so they promptly fired her, and then she's broken off on her own. She's okay. She's stunningly beautiful in real life. Like, she looks good on TV, but when you see her in real life, she's 6 foot tall. Like, she's a knockout.
She's coming on the show in a couple weeks.
She copped to it.
I like that.
I know, it's a hot chick move.
She's like, I did.
Hot chick, oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Eat a dick. I'm hot.
I'm shocked by the fact that the 2-hour interview was so surface level.
It couldn't have been. It couldn't have. He said it, but it couldn't have been at the end of 2 hours.
It had to be at the end.
It had to be.
I think it had to be. I mean, it must have just been a very superficial. What do you think of this wrestler?
She may have asked me. She may have asked me my dream too.
Well, for
that's at the end.
Yeah.
What do you think of Joe? That's someone who didn't read the notes.
It's easy to do because the second you see his face change, then you can go, oh no, you work with Joe Rogan. Like, are you hoping to keep working with Joe Rogan or something? There's some thread there. If you wanted to bail yourself out, she didn't.
She calls him Joe in another clip too.
Oh.
As they're trying to put. He doesn't say anything about it. Like, this is when they're putting on the socks.
She's a sports reporter.
Yeah, and she says this one so casually, and he doesn't say anything.
Oh my God.
Yum. We're gonna leave that alone. Yum yum.
So they put on their socks.
Thanks, Joe.
Now, if people see this and don't watch the beginning of
So she just says, "Thanks, Joe."
Well, the problem with Joe is there's like Joe Cool.
It's just a generic.
Hey, Joe, you shot your mother down.
This is
Joe Blow,
Joe Blow,
Joe Schmo. Yeah, you could get away with the first Joe.
Right now.
I'm just like, again, the thing that bothers me is journalistically, like is she asking him about his stand-up? Is she asking him about his podcast? Is she asking him about...
This seems unthinkable. She is, okay, there may be some explanations. She's a seasoned veteran.
She's good.
Who does sports. So the fact that she wouldn't know the difference between, the guy who runs the UFC and the guy who announces the UFC sounds unthinkable.
I'm shocked.
But I will say there's an X factor. The X factor, as I learned, is when you're pulling into the place, they'll go, "What's your drink?" And certain podcasts will do this, like the Tonight Show used to do this. They had a booze cart right outside the dressing room, and they do, yeah, if you want something, take something, loosen you up, have a better time. So when I came in, they called Mike August. This is my favorite Mike August story. And they came in and they go, what's Adam like to drink? And he does what he always does. He goes, scotch and soda water. Except for I never order a scotch and soda. And I have been on the road with Mike August for 13 years, ordering a scotch on the rocks every single time. But if he orders for me, he gets scotch and soda water in a big, tall tumbler, and I go, first off, it just tastes like carbonated, weak scotch. Like, it's just like water. It's just all soda. And I always say to him, like, Mike, why do you do this? And he goes, that's your drink. And I go, it's not my drink. I've never ordered scotch and soda, but he did it to me in Baltimore, and he came back, and I went, Mike, I don't order scotch and soda water. I've never done it.
Right, you don't do a mixture with your whiskey. It would be scotch on the rocks or vodka, soda, lemon.
Right, so I sat down, and in my mug, because they don't want you to see people are drinking, they put the mug
scotch and soda
with scotch and soda water, and so I sat down and took a sip, and I was like, and she's like, hey Adam, thanks for doing the show. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking kill Mike Ox. I'm gonna fucking kill that guy. It's like, how you doing today? I'm doing good. Oh, god damn it, Mike, where did this come from? You invented this thing. I told you no I've told you no 3 times. It's just not what I drink. And you've been with me when I've ordered 2,000 Scotch on the rocks. Never. My rider has a bottle of rye in the back. It says nothing about soda water. It's just a bottle of rye, and then he watches me, after the second show or the theater or whatever, just pour myself a little glass of Scotch and go walk out for the meet and greet. But he has a thing in his head, and it shall not be fixed. Yeah. So people are drinking. She's drinking. She's got a nice mug of white wine in there. So
I don't know that it accounts for it.
It doesn't account. No. Listen, officer, the reason I beat my wife is because August screwed up my drink. No, it's not
It's
an excuse.
It's egregious, Philbin. I think it's too much.
Yes. The real question is all right, so when you put the socks on, now, Dawson, you got to find mine podcast with her. If you can, because you put the socks on.
Does she call you Jimmy Kimmel? She's like, oh, Jimmy, thanks.
Listen, I'd run with that shit if I.
Oh my gosh.
You put the socks on at the beginning. You sit down and she hands you a basket of socks and you put your socks on.
Get comfy.
And I think at the end she asks you your dream. So if she called him Joe during the sock put on department, and then Joe during the dream part at the end. Then she went all the way through.
The whole interview was.
Oh my!
Asked me a lot of Rogan questions, but I'll answer them.
Oh my God! Oh, we got to find that out. But yeah, so now that building, Howie Mandel's warehouse that I told him to buy in Van Nuys, California, is cursed for Dana White.
He'll never go back.
He had the one blowout with Howie Mandel, and now this.
He'll never go back.
He'll never go back.
Wow.
All right, so Alex, you used to work with the Dodgers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what were you doing with them?
I worked in PR.
All right, well, there's a big PR thing going on with them over this last week with Otani. Mm-hmm. So we didn't talk about this yet.
I heard that there was a scandal. What was it?
So his longtime interpreter, he, according to reports, he took about $4.5 million from Otani's account to pay off gambling debts. Otani found out and has since fired him, and he's dealing with all this.
That does seem like a fireable offense.
It does, but there are multiple stories that came out. First, his interpreter said, "Look, I've been gambling not on MLB because that's against the rules, but Otani gave me the money, saying as long as I promise never to gamble again, he'll pay off my debts and we can move on." And then now his story has changed, saying Otani had no idea I took the money without him knowing.
Yeah.
I mean, no one. It doesn't feel like that. I will say this: I don't know that I would invest money with the interpreter. I think he's probably not the best with money.
Yeah,
I know. Here's a cultural
Don't float
thought.
him.
Like a certain part of Otani was like, "Listen, I know you said, it was me, and you're just doing my money, but I need you to fall on your sword and change your story." And he started pulling a sword out.
Yeah, an actual sword.
No. Don't physically fall on your sword. Although that would work. No, just change your story.
I did a comedy show last night, and one of the guys up there said that all of this whole explanation from Shohei Ohtani is all coming from the interpreter, and his joke was,
Right.
how can you fucking trust him? He's the so says this guy.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a beef with this guy because they look pretty similar. But the
What
guy,
do you mean they don't look similar at all? One's Shohei Ohtani and the other is not.
they're
Which one's which? I
tall.
can't tell.
They have the same haircut.
They're not tall. Shohei Ohtani is so much taller than his interpreter.
I used the word
These are
similar. I didn't say doppelganger. They look similar. They have the same barber. They have the same skin tone. They have many of the same features. So I will say similar.
Yeah, this is information from
All right,
Sage Steele.
Find me another guy in the Dodger dugout that looks closer to Otani.
Probably. Do they have another?
No.
Do they have
All
another
right,
ball player
I'm
on the
sticking
team?
with similar.
All right.
Now, here's my problem. Marley Matlin. Her interpreter's a dude.
He's lovely.
I don't
Kenny.
like it.
His name's Kenny. He's
He shouldn't. She shouldn't have a dude. She needs a woman.
Why? What? Where is this?
It's
coming
her
from?
voice. Sounds weird.
This is extremely Seriously?
I would like it better if she had a female.
You think that everyone who has an interpreter needs to be doing an impression of what they?
It'd be nice. Be closer. You know, I don't know if Dana White couldn't speak, but he had an interpreter and it was a woman, it would bump me.
I mean, I think that'd be really nice. I think
It'd be funny, but eventually it would bump.
Here's the thing.
I'd like the interpreters to stay with the same
She's
gender.
been working with that guy at least since The West Wing. And so that's been a long time. So she's comfortable, you know.
No, she's fine. I'm uncomfortable.
Oh, okay.
That's what we're really talking about here. I'm not worried about her.
She's a genius. She's so good.
She's good. It's him. I worry about.
You have problems.
That's all.
I think his name is Kenny. I think he's like well known.
Kenny needs to transition, and then that'll solve this. It'll be win-win. That's all. I don't know the man, but I've met him. I've met him a few times.
Have you met? You mean with Marley? I imagine.
Yes, separately, I'd have no contacts. I wouldn't know him like at the airport, but yeah, with her, I've spoken to him. If he transitioned, then that would be better.
Good. You've offered the suggestion
for
live.
me.
You've offered
Yeah.
the suggestion in real life.
Yes. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. No. Again, no pressure. I can't force him to do it, but I'm saying if he's thinking about it,
Good.
it'd be better for the audience. That's all. That's all. I just like all the. I just like all the genders to line up.
That's
Because I did Dancing with the Stars with her.
with Marley.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And then he was interpreting, and they were getting into, our bodies are rubbing up against each other. It's a passionate dance and stuff like that, but it's a dude's voice. Feels weird.
It can still be passionate with a dude.
I know, but she's not gay. Or maybe she is. We got to figure this out now. All right,
I don't
if
even
she's
know where we
lesbian,
are.
then it's fine.
I don't even know where we are anymore.
All right, here's the deal. I will tell Marley, look, if you're a lesbian, it's all fine.
What
it's
does
fine.
this have to do with anything?
It's
Adam?
fine. If you're not, then this guy's got to transition. That's all. It's two choices. Just think about it. That's all I'm saying.
It feels like a you problem, though.
It is. I don't like it. I don't like hearing a dude's voice with the beautiful female. That's all. It's an issue.
Okay.
All right. What if
It's never bothered me.
well, either you're evolved or devolved.
Okay.
Let's not forget. There's
Let's
a version of this that it doesn't bother. That's not on the happy side.
Sure.
That's all.
We'll pick whatever.
I'm bothered by it. That's all.
What else you got, Chris?
I'm bothered by the two guys in the center of the sled, which is not your brother.
No, I don't believe so.
So that's good. That's good. And the interpreter. Yeah.
Oh, don't mean to share your point, but Yoshinobu Yamamoto was also picked up by the Dodgers. He's a
That's-
Oh,
Yeah.
but that happened
That's
like
right,
10 minutes
Yamamoto.
ago.
No, it happened right after. Didn't it happen right after they got Otani? They also got Yamamoto.
The photo we saw predates them picking up that
That
Asian
photo could have
player.
been Yamamoto, for all you know.
Well, that's true.
All right, so Bethenny Frankel, she's been on this show before,
Yes.
Real Housewife of New York. So she just commented on a TikTok, because there's this TikTok trend again of women talking about them getting punched
yeah.
randomly as they're walking around New York. I mean, you remember the knockout game
Yeah.
a few years ago? You're in New York, right? Alex? Yeah. So, yes, walking the streets of New York, but now it looks like it's being directed to women, according to people them posting themselves on TikTok, showing their bruises.
Do we
or their,
trust Bethenny Frankel?
What do the cops say?
I like her, and I know this is a trend, and I've seen a couple vids of good-looking blondes, holding a frozen bag of peas on their orbital socket, but Bethenny Frankel, I feel like, is jumping onto some train here.
I mean,
I'm not saying it's something. Here's my take. I'm not saying something didn't happen to her, but I don't know if she was just cold cock punched in the face.
Well, yeah. So she says that she was randomly punched while she was taking video of a bakery when she was on the streets.
Are we sure it wasn't because she was Bethenny Frankel?
Yeah, maybe
I
someone.
like Bethenny Frankel. I think we follow each other on one of the social medias. I enjoy whatever it is. I think, but yeah, are we sure it wasn't randomly? It wasn't that Real Housewives are her target?
Or maybe someone wasn't satisfied with one of her skinny girl margarita products.
Does she do that? Is that her?
Oh yeah,
Chris, what are you thinking?
You follow her and you don't know about her whole like skinny girl drink line?
I'm not really on social media as much. I send it to someone and they post. So, but I try to, especially, I think it might be TikTok, which I'm really not on because it's a time suck. I opened up TikTok and I started scrolling on it, and then I looked outside and it was 2 days later, and I was like, this is too dangerous. I can't use this. The Chinese government is a real problem. Like, it really, like, they know exactly everything I want to see. By the way, most of my TikTok is just movie clips from movies that I haven't seen but seem like from the clips I would enjoy.
It's crazy how they
what are they pitching you?
It's
What
like
movies
Band of Brothers type movies where like they're being dropped over Bastogne or something, and the thing's about to land. There's Nazis everywhere, and then it cuts, and I'm like, wait, what movie is this?
I think Band of Brothers and The Wire are the two features or series that people most tell me to watch that I've never watched.
I think you'd enjoy Band of Brothers. It's a little slow the first 2 episodes, and then after that, it becomes a lot of fun. There are a lot of great actors in it. Yeah, I saw it recently. It's really good.
Yeah, I saw clips from a movie from 1998 called The Big Hit.
Was it a good movie?
Well, the clips were awesome. Because Lou Diamond Phillips, like Mark Wahlberg, but then terrible Rotten Tomatoes score. But I don't know. I was interested. So yeah, it's weird how they can just grab you like that. Well, anyway, Beth. So you might be right about
Bethany Frankel. Is there a picture of her with a shiner or a mouse under her eye?
Well, first, this was initially reported because she left a comment on a video of somebody else claiming they got punched, and she said it's insane. This happened to me too. But then she deleted it.
Okay.
But they caught the screenshot before she deleted it. But I think there is a video of her talking about it from a few months ago too. So I don't.
All right. Did we get to the bottom of me and Sage Steele? Did we put socks on at the beginning?
That is memory hold. I'm looking for it.
Oh, they never released it?
Well, no, it's just you search. I've been through 10 pages of Google searches. I cannot find Adam Carolla on Sage Steele's show.
Oh, well, maybe they...
Even on her website.
Maybe they banked it.
Yeah, she just started it.
Oh, she just started it?
Network, yeah.
So she just banked it. So when we do, we'll see if it's... socks to nuts.
Can we see if Dana White is wearing the same clothes as the Howie Mandel episode? See if he just did a multiple thing, like banked a couple shows.
Oh, yeah. He could have walked right out of Howie Mandel's
don't get suspicious
place. All right. Is Garagos supposed to call into the show and get us caught up on all the P. Diddy stuff and everything?
That is the plan.
He's not picking up.
Oh.
He's in New York, so I don't.
You're being screened by Mark Garagos, and he'll take anybody's calls. Like literally anyone. He'll represent anyone.
Well,
the parrot from Beretta. He's like, which is the hack reference.
It's a cockatiel.
Is it a cockatiel?
Just in case you do it on stage.
Oh, never. Oh, yes, my Mark Garagos material.
I know, but in case you break in case you break into any Beretta stuff.
Mark, what's Scott Peterson like in person?
Oh, he does them all. He does Michael Jackson.
No, he did it. Wow.
He does Scott Peterson.
He's a busy man.
He's with the Menendez brothers now.
What? They're still around?
They're incarcerated.
Yeah, that's what I imagined. I saw them on that John Stark. Is it a John Starks basketball card?
Yeah,
they're in the background.
Yeah, they're in the background.
Mark Jackson. It's Mark Jackson.
Yeah, it's a basketball. They made it onto a basketball card.
Yeah, they are looking
famously
pretty sad and weird.
Yes.
In the thing. What else you got headline wise, Chris?
All right. Well, let's talk more sports. This case, golf. So there are reports of how Donald Trump cheats at golf.
Oh, really?
I don't think Donald Trump cheats at golf. I think Donald Trump genuinely 3-day tournament, holes in one every hole, every single round.
I don't think that'd make him the best golfer in the world.
Well, I mean, those are your words, not mine, Adam. I mean,
he's got to cheat.
Clearly, he's if he's winning the club championship, it is absolutely. It's like some Mao stuff. Whenever he tweets about the sports accomplishments, it's like yes, he swam the length of the Yangtze River. Doing a backstroke. It took him 20 minutes.
He always brags about golf because he's courting the Hispanic vote. That's my
He's such a. I wish he was. I wish he would stop. I wish he would stop.
Just stop.
I wish he would just stop. I wish he'd just like Look, it's embarrassing that he's running. It's embarrassing that he's the option. It just like, stop. Just enough. Like when I worked at the Red Sox, he was always around. He was like a guy no one wanted to talk to when he was around. Like,
what was he doing there?
He would give $1 million to the Jimmy Fund every year, which is truly admirable, which is amazing. It's a children's cancer thing. You give $1 million to Jimmy Fund, but in exchange, he would go, I want to throw out a ceremonial for his pitch. I want to like do this. I want to, he said one year, I want to headline the radio show. And it was just like, what? There's like a radio telethon they do. It's like, I want to be like, he would ask for all this weird stuff and he got it because it's $1 million and it's a Jimmy Fund. And he was just always around. I remember having like 1 million horrible, boring conversations with this boring guy. And I was like, oh God, because these are like a reality show joke.
What'd you guys talk about?
We talked about, he had a friend who I don't know what that friend would think of him now, but a guy named Jay Emmett who lived near him in Florida. And Jay was a lovely, lovely man who was like worked in licensing or something and was beloved at the Red Sox. And so, and he knew Trump and would occasionally, bring him up. So we usually talk about Jay and Jay's family and Jay's health, but like, God, he was boring. And he would also complain about various people I had never heard of. And I'd be like, oh no, sounds bad. There's a guy at the Yankees he didn't like. He always complained about this one guy, Mike, at the Yankees. Like it was just a brutally small man. And I feel kind of, I don't know. I feel just kind of bad for him.
So you go Kennedy or you go Biden?
Oh, I mean, listen, I'm going neither. I'm voting Jill Stein all the way. Baby.
Wow.
No, I'm voting Biden. I did a thing in front of him and I made a joke at his expense.
In front of Biden.
In front of Biden, he liked the joke. It was a Broadway thing, and he was there. And I said, Biden's, I hear he loves Hamilton because he knew him.
Yeah, that's funny.
And Biden, I met him later on. He's like, that Hamilton joke's pretty good. And I was like, thanks, man. Like
he's leaning into the old guy stuff. Which is probably about the only way to go. Maybe,
but also he's got like a sense of humor. Like he really is he really has a sense. I asked him who his favorite president was, and he thought about it and weighed a few merits and went, "Who's yours?" And I said, "Garfield." Didn't want the job,
right?
And he didn't campaign. And then I was like, "Must be nice not to campaign, not to have to tell a comedian you think he's funny."
Right.
And he's like, yeah, very like he's all there.
We're having a little breakthrough here with the Dana White story. Chris's sleuthing has worked. It appears Dana White's wearing the same clothes in both interviews.
No way.
Now,
so the first frame is from him getting up as he's leaving Howie Mandel's studio. That was the clearest I can get a post.
So now, here's what I think. I told you they're in the same building. I told you I've done them both. I told you one's on the right, one's on the left. The studios are literally 40 feet apart. He went in, sat down for 2 hours with Sage Steele. She thought he was Joe Rogan. And at some point got up to go do Howie Mandel's, sat down. Howie Mandel's princess of a daughter asked one shitty question at the top, and he just went, fuck this. He was already saturated. He was seething over the other one.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
wait, I think we'll have him.
Here's him on a Howie Mandel show.
Not only an amazing businessman, you are an inspiration. You are a philosopher. The way you do business, the way you conduct
number
your
one
business
podcast and
your
bow hunter in North America.
I'm jealous. But Dana,
Loved you on Fear Factor.
Thank you enough for being here.
Thank you for all the kind words. I appreciate it. I am so fucking tired of doing podcasts. I'm literally
this
done
is
with it. I'm not doing
interesting.
any
Yeah,
podcasts.
it's the next one. So he flew out to gang tape. They said, come on out, do Sage Steele, and as long as you're doing Sage, walk across the hall and say hi to Howie.
This makes so much sense.
And then he just got mistaken for somebody else for 2 hours, and then he sat down all fucking still with that all up in his head. And even though he got this great welcome, like entrepreneur, businessman, lover of humanity, he just went, fuck this, because he was still
really interesting.
I think we blew the lid off this shit.
Wow, I think that's exactly what happened. That's really fascinating.
Now, that's teamwork, Chris, because you caught the outfit, but I know the lay of the land of that place, and it's all under the same roof.
Yeah, see, I didn't know that. So now that...
So they said to Dana White, fly out. By the way, it's across the street from across the street from Van Nuys Airport. They said, fly your private jet to Van Nuys Airport. We'll just walk you across the street into the building, sit down with Sage Steele, and then walk across the hall and sit down with Howie Mandel.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he's in the same outfit, and that's why he's pissed off.
Look at us.
And they banked the Sage Steele one, but they released the Howie Mandel one, which he probably did after the Sage Steele one, but they were banked.
But that's why he was pissed.
But both interviews just go viral. Dana White just has that kind of juice.
All right. We got March Madness to do. Maybe
Mark just texted me that he'll get
Garrigo's going to weigh in on P. Diddy. Alex Edelman, the stand-up special, just for us. So good. Such a great performance.
Thanks for having me, guys.
And so much great material, too. It's really, and it looks amazing. I don't know what theater was shot
It was
at.
on Broadway at the Hudson, but, it was Alex Timbers, our director. He was unbelievable. He was just like... he did all Mulaney stuff. He did all of our...
It looks really good, and so he should get credit for that. But just a performance that in a world of people putting up all their crowd work, this is just the smoothest 90 minutes you're going to see.
Thanks,
so,
man. That's
super
really,
enjoyable.
Really nice. Thanks, dude.
It was great. So look forward to that. Alex Edelman, by the way, on Instagram website, alexedelmancomedy.com is where you go.